Hey everybody, it's me Blanche and welcome to Feast in the Middle East. This is where I share healthy and authentic Middle Eastern and Mediterranean recipes made simple for today's modern cook. I'm going to share with you one of my childhood favorites. I dedicate this episode to my late Auntie Bahia, my great aunt on my father's side. She used to make this dish for me when I was a kid, and I still think of her to this day every time I make this dish. This is an Arabic version of cauliflower fritters. Now, if you say it in Arabic, it's called imshat. But as you can see, if I write it on the screen here, it doesn't translate so well to English and people might mispronounce it, if you know what I mean. But these cauliflowers are special because they are loaded up with aromatics like scallions and garlic and parsley. And I particularly love them dipped in hummus because everything tastes better dipped in hummus. And I also have a nifty shortcut to make this recipe, so you don't want to miss this episode right here on Feast in the Middle East. All right, we're gonna start with one head of cauliflower. I just cut it around the core and use that. You want them in big pieces for now because we're going to boil them and you want them to hold their shape. Some supermarkets sell the big florets already separated, so feel free to use that to save you some time if you wish. And make sure that you wash the cauliflower, of course. Next, I brought a big pot of water to a boil and I added the cauliflower. I'm going to boil these for about a trifecta of aromatics, about 4 cloves of garlic, a shallot, and a couple of scallions. I'm going to mince both the garlic and the shallots really finely. You can use a food processor onions and they don't make you cry your eyes out the way onions do. Now, I remember one viewer gave me saying shallot or shallots. Feel free to do that. I'm just cutting up a vegetable. I'm using 2, but some people like more. They add 3 or 4. It really depends on your flavor preference. Finally, I'm chopping up 1 handful of parsley. If you prefer cilantro, you can use that too. Now we're going to make the batter. For that, you need 3 eggs and whisk them very well. And then all you have to do is add all the scallions, garlic, and shallots that you chopped earlier. And whoops, I almost forgot the parsley. Make sure to add that too. And here's an easy hack to add more protein instead of the traditional, add baking powder that way. So that's one less ingredient you have to worry about. Next, I'm going to add salt to taste. I use about a ½ teaspoon, use as much or as little as you wish. And of course, you know my family's obsession with lemon pepper. I added about a ¼ teaspoon. You could use regular pepper too. Then you want to mix the ingredients thoroughly. You don't want to overmix it though, because then the batter will turn out way too dense. Finally, you want to drain the water from the boiled cauliflower and add that to the mix. Combine all of the ingredients, and here's a little tip. If you like your fritters kind of traditional, I like my fritters on the crispy side, so that's why I added it. At this point, the batter should be lumpy but moist at the same time. If you feel like it is too stiff, just add a couple of tablespoons of milk. It could be regular milk, plant milk, whatever. High smoke point, and it is the least processed of all the oils. So I add about 2 tablespoons. I like to fry up 4 at a time. Just flip them over when they're golden brown. As you can see, these cook up pretty fast. They will be ready to eat in no time. Of this, look at that. It's spongy. I love it because you still get nice little chunks of cauliflower in it, and if you love cauliflower as much as I do, that's a real treat. And it's funny how one bite can transport you to your childhood and make you think of people that you love from your past. Now, if you love cauliflower as much as I do, I have other cauliflower recipes on my channel and also in my cookbook, which you could get at feastinthemiddleeast.com. One of my favorite cauliflower recipes is for maklouba. It's actually one of my most popular recipes, where you take cauliflower and onions and rice and you turn it into a sort of upside down savory cake. Honestly, cauliflower is so versatile. It tastes great in so many dishes. If you haven't joined our YouTube family yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and the notification so you can get my videos as soon as I upload them, and I will see you soon.